news about your second stimulus check and second stimulus package, as a Trump veto may be in play. A Trump veto, unless there's a substantial enough stimulus check, may now be in play. Trump may be stepping up for you and shutting down the government unless there's a substantial stimulus check in there, and it's because of you. He's seen your tweets. A series of news reports overnight suggests that the president has seen your tweets, has heard your tweets. Hashtag Senate Vote No. Trending online on Wednesday. This channel's Twitter handles of Senate Vote No and House Vote No were seen by the President of the United States. He's not happy. He's not happy for a series of reasons, the President of the United States, because of one, he told Josh Hawley nearly a week ago that he wanted $1,200 to $2,000. I told you that in the earlier recordings about a week ago. The President wanted a stimulus check of $1,000 to $2,000. That was number one. Two, during the negotiations with Nancy Pelosi through much of the fall, Steve Mnuchin had raised his stimulus check amounts to $2,000 approximately for adults and $1,000 for children, where Nancy Pelosi kept on going down. Three, the president's not happy that people are getting shortchanged on a stimulus check, and suddenly big business is back getting big money. If you recall, if you're good on memory, which I'm usually good, I think you are too. The flock of airline executives flew to Washington in August when they had that deadline to ask for stimulus relief for the airlines, met with Mark Meadows and appeared outside the White House grounds. Did not get it. White House did not give the airlines another bailout. White House said they might, but the White House did not want to put the airlines before you. White House did not want to put restaurants before you. White House did not want to put state and local before you. White House wanted to put you first. And I want to make something very clear. It's not talk. It's actually action. You know, there's a lot of times where we say elected officials are talk and there's no action. Steve Mnuchin made offers over $1,200. We know that because Mark Meadows confirmed during the negotiations about October that Steve Mnuchin had gone higher from 1,200. Well, the only thing that's higher from 1,200 is higher than 1,200, and that means about $2,000. And that Steve Mnuchin had gone higher for children, which is higher. And at that point, Steve Mnuchin had offered $1,000. He had also made very clear, Steve Mnuchin, and this is for my SSI, SSDI, Social Security and Railroad Benefit, and veterans viewers, Steve Mnuchin had made an offer to ensure that every adult got the same amount for the stimulus check, whereas the Democrats were trying to mess around with that number. So in November and October, in the final round of negotiations between Nancy and Steve, Nancy had gone smaller. She had dropped to $500 for children, which is just insane at that point. And she had dropped to $1,000 on a stimulus check. Steve Mnuchin had gone higher, $2,000 for all adults, everyone. And then for children only, $1,000. Well, let's see why this is consistent, these remarks overnight, with what happened 5 days ago. 5 days ago, Mitch McConnell met with the President of the United States before this whole thing started and said, Mr. President, what do you want? What do you want on this deal? What do you want? And he specifically said, I will defer to what you want. He came back, Mitch McConnell, and spoke to press. All this you remember because it was only 5 days ago I talked about on this channel. Mitch McConnell told press that ultimately you don't have a stimulus bill unless you have a president. You have to have a president on point. And I'm going to do what the president wants. Well, suddenly Mitch McConnell's working against the president again. Suddenly it's McConnell versus Trump. Suddenly McConnell is not working for the president. Suddenly the president is having Mitch McConnell do things against him. And we know this for the following reasons. One, Josh Hawley spoke with the president almost every single day last week. And the president said during those conversations, you saw the titles of my videos, you saw my recordings for over a week. The president said, I want $1,200 to $2,000 for a stimulus check. The president made very clear during those conversations with Josh Hawley, I wanted $1,200 to $2,000 for a stimulus check. And Josh encouraged the president to veto anything unless there's a substantial enough stimulus check of $1,200. Again, the president wanted $1,200 to $2,000. Are some people having problems about seeing the screen? Is anyone having problems seeing the screen? Because I have no problems with anyone in the room currently. There's about 1,000 people, but I do see 1 or 2 people saying I have problems with the screen. No, says Joseph. Okay, thank you. No, says Jason. No, says Lord. Thank you. I appreciate that. So the president had made very clear, $1,200 or higher. And Josh had said to the president, you know what? If they don't give us $1,200, will you veto it? The president said, I'll consider it. Well, now where we are to not today is last night the president had said, this is insane. What are they doing at $600? What are they doing at $600? It's unbelievable. It's unconscionable. This is not what I agreed to. Why is Mitch working against me? We now also know that Mitch McConnell came up with the $600 stimulus check offer. The $600 stimulus check offer to save those seats in Georgia. There's sort of at this point, you can't focus on the partisanship because it doesn't make sense. There's literally no way to explain the Republican partisanship at this point because you have to focus on just economics. You can't focus on, well, Josh is a Republican and Mitch is a Republican and Donald's a Republican. You can't do it because it doesn't make sense. There's no way to explain it. There's literally no way to explain it. All you can do is focus on numbers, which is the president has always wanted a big stimulus check. He's never wanted a small stimulus check. He's never really wanted to give money to airlines. He's never wanted to give any money to state and local. He's never wanted to give any money for big corporate things. He's not excited about PPP. It is what it is. It's there. And he's not very excited about hotels, and he's not very excited about restaurants. But he is very excited about working and families. He's very excited about basic American families, and because those are the people that got him elected. And now where you sit here this morning and you're 6 minutes into this video, here's what's happening. Here's what's happening is first, Mitch McConnell says there was incredible progress overnight. Incredible progress overnight. Still no deal, but incredible progress overnight. Every time that Mitch McConnell and anyone that's asked for a quote or an update about where we are, they never give numbers. It sounds sort of like it sounds like someone you're sort of negotiating with. Where are you at? I'm working on it. Well, what's the number? I'll get back to you. Well, what's the number? I'll get back to you. Well, the number. So Mitch is not talking about numbers. He said we're much closer to a deal than we were last night. Still no deal, but closer. No numbers. Won't tell you the numbers. Won't tell you anything about the numbers. Basic reason is because if you tuned into Early Mornings LALATE, I told you that the reason there's no deal is because of you. The reason there is no deal is because of the Purple Power and this channel. This channel has urged all elected officials, no deal. Hashtag Senate vote no. Hashtag House vote no. Unless there's a $1,200 stimulus check. As Al Fogel just said, $1,200 or no deal. Now we have possibly as much as 3 different or 4 different paths to block this. Let me go over all the different paths that are in play to block this. The new path to block this morning, if you saw in the title, is Trump veto. Trump may veto this. Everything about a veto for this is just very delicious for Trump. And I got to explain to you why. Working against this president has not behooved anyone. Mitch has worked against the president the last few days. Republicans have worked against the president the last few days. And that ultimately, if people want to work against the president, will the president sign off on something where they threw him under the bus? I don't think so. The president has no problem saying his position and no problem holding his position. So a Trump veto, unless there's a $1,200 stimulus check, is now in play. I don't know what the hashtag campaign for that would be, but that is that is now in play. The second thing that's now in play is that we do see that there is a series of new reports this morning that says U.S. progressives in the House had written and said they would not support it unless there's a $1,200 stimulus check, and that there was about how many? I think the article said maybe 20 progressives that wrote a letter saying there has to be a $1,200 stimulus check. They have not said anything yet, but they did say it has to be $1,200. So that's House. That's the purpose of House vote no. Hashtag House vote no. Because there may not be support in the House for a $600 stimulus check, or support for an $800, $700, $800, $900. What is the number? We don't know the number. We don't know the number because Mitch is not saying the number. People will say, I heard it's 600. I heard it's no, but there was a proposal of 600. There is no deal on the number. There is literally no deal. Next, Josh. Josh is a big, how would you say it? Josh's up and no vote today on the $1,200 is a big media event, I guess you would say. It's a media event. It's a media event because we started the week with the prom creators standing in front of Capitol Hill saying we got a wonderful thing, and here we are. It went national. It was on broadcast news. They ran the video. They stood there, pictures and all that. Josh's $1,200 up or down vote today will be a media event. It will be a media spectacle. And it's being done by a Republican. And it's being done by a Republican who will likely say the president doesn't support $600 or anything less than $1,200. So it's a big media event. It may not have an effect, but it may say, what are you doing? Shut the government down unless you get this done. That's hashtag Senate vote no. Elizabeth Warren did speak out yesterday. Elizabeth Warren did speak out yesterday, but didn't speak the way we would want her to speak it. It was sort of like half words talking about Biden. It was all sort of over the place. Fourth, there is a partisan play in this, and the partisan play in this is too hard to explain on video because it's not consistent. I guess I use it. It's not consistent. There's a way to blame Joe Biden for the $600 number. There's a way to blame Mitch McConnell for the $600 number. There's a way to say you're going to lose Senate seats in Georgia because of the $600 number. There's a way to say, Joe Biden, you're responsible for the $600 number. You keep on saying it's so wonderful, it's a down payment. Joe, you have not introduced what is the multiple stimulus check bill of January. Where is the multiple stimulus check bill in January from Joe Biden? You know, you can write a memo as you've written them during the campaign. Here's what I'm going to do for SSI and SSDI, the $2,400. You delineated how it's going to work. Why is it silence when it comes to the multiple stimulus checks? You want us to embrace $600, Joe? Well, tell us what you're going to do with stimulus checks in January. Tell us what you're going to do with stimulus checks in January. It's not telling us. So you could blame Joe Biden for this. Would the president blame Joe Biden on a veto for this? You know that if we have our backs against the wall, that this is past the House and past the Senate and a bad number, I'm going to hit very hard. And I'm going to hit very, very hard for a veto that claiming that this was Democrats behind a bad number, and that bad number was to set up something in a way that doesn't help anyone. I'm on C-SPAN, doesn't show anything happening yet. Yeah, for some reason, these congressional figures just work in the late afternoon. They have a long breakfast and then a long lunch. Then they show up in the afternoon. So where we are procedurally, let me explain procedurally where we are, because it may sound confusing to some, and I have to update it all the time. There is a deadline tonight. It's 12 midnight. If there's no extension, which there won't be, I'm going to explain to you why, the government will shut down. At this point, I think Trump wants the government to shut down. At this point, the viewers of the channel want the government to shut down. At this point, anyone who dislikes anything less than $1,200 stimulus check wants the government to shut down. The government will shut down tonight. Will they do an extension of the government shutdown? No, because that's not going to get passed. It would take House vote, Senate vote, President sign off. It's not going to get passed, so they're not going to do it. So what are they going to do? They're going to stay in town and try to get a deal done over the weekend. Hope to get a deal done over the weekend. What does it take to get this finalized, to get it finished? They have to get a deal. They have no deal. They have proposals. Among the proposals is us. Among the proposals is $1,200 or zip it. Among the $1,200 among the proposals is $1,200 or no ice cream for you and no lobster for you. That's among the proposals. So you are a proposal as much as the $600 is a proposal. Let me make that very clear to you. From the proposals, then they try to write a bill. They haven't written a bill yet because they don't have an agreement. They have no deal. They go from proposal to deal. There is no deal. There's no deal on 600. There's no deal on the stimulus check. There's no deal on anything. So from proposal to deal, then after deal, there's a bill. You write a bill. They haven't written the bill. You can't write a bill if you don't have agreed upon anything. Then from the bill, then it goes to the House for a vote. And then from the House, it goes to the Senate for a vote. And then from the Senate, it goes to the President for a vote. That's 2.5 days at least. 2.5 days at least. Well, today's Friday, Saturday, Sunday evening. We're looking at this going on at least through Sunday. The fastest you'll ever see anything become a law is by Sunday, but this may go on all the start of next week. Additionally, what I said in some earlier videos, which I want to repeat right now, wow, there's 2,000 people in the room, is that don't worry about your benefit checks or anything you receive from the federal government. Do not worry. A government shutdown does not impact you receiving anything from the federal government unless it goes on for months. Going on for a few days means nothing. So if you are worried about your Social Security check, you're worried about your disability check, don't worry. It's not, it goes out as planned. It is not impacted by a government shutdown unless this goes on for months. It's not going to go on for months. So don't worry about that. So now let's get back to Josh and the hashtag campaigns and everything involved. Um, Josh will do an up or down vote today. The up and down vote says, hey, do you vote in favor of my $1,200 bill or do you vote against it? His bill is not anything but a stimulus check. There's nothing else in there. There's nothing else in there but the stimulus check. And the up and down vote does not intend to do anything. It doesn't actually. I don't think you. I think you understand. It's not intended to actually effectuate anything. But what it's trying to do is show how people that are in that room are going up on 1,200. So when 600 or 700 or 800 is said down the hall in another room, well, we just had 20 people in the room say up on 1,200. Why are you doing a number other than 1,200? That's the reason it's being done. It's also being done because before they call the 1,200, they're going to talk on the floor. They talk on the set of floors. Someone said, I'm watching C-SPAN. If you're not watching C-SPAN, broadcast news, NBC, CBS, ABC, they're going to pick up the feed. They're going to pick up Josh saying, okay, I'm introducing the bill. This is what I'm doing. It's high dramatics. It's political theater, but political theater that has value. So will our EBT stop? No, your EBT will not stop. Because of the shutdown? No, nothing will stop. Nothing that you receive benefits from the federal government will stop because of a shutdown. Will they vote on the Hawley bill? They will vote on the Hawley bill. They will. There will be a vote on the Hawley bill, but the vote won't make it law. They spoke. Josh spoke. So there you go. What's important to understand is that you have all these things at play, and there's a lot of things moving around, and the campaign of this channel needs to continue by the minute. One check, no retro, absolutely. That's what they're trying to do. FPUC, not retro. I haven't got to the FPUC. The FPUC alone just kills it for everyone on this channel. The FPUC is horrific. FPUC forward, 16 weeks, 11 weeks, no FPUC retroactive. So not giving you 20-something weeks, 30-something weeks of FPUC retroactive. It's insane. And as I've been detailing over this channel in the last 24 hours, airlines getting top dollar, restaurants getting top dollar, hotels getting top dollars. You being cheated out of 30 weeks of FPUC, you being cheated out of multiple stimulus checks from the spring, you being given a watered down stimulus check right now. When it comes to you, they're cheating you left and right, and then but big business is getting top dollar. How many ups do they need? I don't think that you should, says Lisa, how many ups do they need? I don't think this is something you're going to look at to hope it becomes a law. I don't think Josh's bill will become a law. I don't think that's the purpose of it. The purposes of it is to say, okay, we have 20 people who just said up. Do you really intend to do a stimulus bill that doesn't have $1,200 because 20 people in the room just said up? Who in the room is going to say down? It's just sort of like, that's sort of, where's $800 billion? That is a great question, Food Stealer. So I love that screen name. Where's $800 billion? It's still at SBA. It's unused. There is a series of quotes that have come out from the White House and some Republicans. They have come out from the president. They have come out from Steve Mnuchin. They have come out from Larry Kudlow. And sometimes they came out from Mitch McConnell about repurposing the CARES Act 1 money. What I see on this channel, every time that they propose to repurpose that $800 billion of CARES Act 1 money, The Democrats don't want to do it. I don't know why. And no one in the White House is explaining why not. Larry Kudlow, talked about on CNBC about a week ago. He said, "I understand why they're not repurposing the CARES Act 1 money, $800 billion." Now he says $600 billion. Who cares? $600 billion is a $2,400 stimulus check, almost a $3,000 stimulus check. I don't know. And so he said that I told them to do it. They're not doing it. Steve Mnuchin wrote a letter, repurpose it. The president, someone was sending me old tweets from the president from a few weeks ago saying repurpose it. I don't know why the Democrats don't want to repurpose money. There's something about that which I don't know. Um, my guess, but it's a really big guess, is there's a series of reports out there that the Democrats are upset that Steve Mnuchin is sort of pulling in money from different places from the Treasury and wanted to leave those all for Janet when she comes in, Janet Yellen, in January. And that the Democrats may want that $800 billion for Janet for something other than you. I'll say that again. And if I was to guess a dollar, I would believe that's what's going on. The reason why the Democrats don't want that $800 billion repurposed as a stimulus check or for you is because Janet Yellen and Joe Biden want to use it for something else. They're looking at it like, ooh, delicious. Oh, yum. It looks so delicious. I can't wait to get my hands on it. Like Silence of the Lambs. It's like they want to grab it. Janet Yellen, the next Treasury Secretary for Joe Biden, they want to use that $800 billion for something else. I don't know what it is, railroads or freeways, or they want to use it for something else. And they don't want it to be used for you. Which and someone says, I agree with you, Allied. I think that's what it is. There was a series of reports that says Yellen wants a lot of this money that's sitting around. She doesn't like that Mnuchin is pulling it in. He's not pulled that one in yet. The state and local, the $150 billion you use or lose, that's coming in. That's coming in quite soon as well. She doesn't like that. She wants to use this money. I can understand she wants to use the money, but don't hold up money that could come out as a stimulus check for millions of Americans. It's just it's horrid. It's just horrid. So with that, President Trump can do executive order. President can do executive order. An executive order is still in play. The president can do an executive order. He has not done executive order, but a veto may be the easier path to getting this done. A veto means 1,200 I veto you. 1,200 or I veto you, as simple as that. And that is a clear message. He has the veto power. If you don't understand what a veto is or how a veto works, if Mitch's Senate does not get a certain number of votes in favor of what ultimately happens, then the president can veto it and the veto will not be overridden. The lobbyists have spent the $800 billion already. No, they've not. No, they've not. That's untrue. What about the money that went back? There's a lot of money to track, but there is $600 billion at SBA. I believe it's 800, but Larry Kudlow just a week ago said there's 600. Don't be stressed, says Steve. I don't want anyone to be stressed. I don't want anyone to be upset. I don't want anyone to be on their wits' end. So hashtag Senate vote no, hashtag House vote no, and understand we do not have a deal. We do not have a bill. And let me explain what's going to happen today. And I keep on predicting what's going to happen today, but that doesn't happen. So it could be tomorrow. But let me tell you what's going to happen today. You could see something emerge. You could see the deal emerge. The deal is not law. I'm going to say this again. Deal is not law. The deal is not law. Can everyone repeat it back to me? If you understand what I'm saying, if you see a deal is not law. Just in the screen, deal is not law. So you may see a deal. A deal is not law. Thank you, Laura. The deal is not a law. Then what will happen is that it will be introduced to the House. The House may approve it because they just approve anything Nancy wants them to approve. And then it will go to the Senate. The reason why I started the hashtag campaign, Senate vote no, is because the Senate's where you're going to block it. You're not going to block this in the House. There's always this type of possibility you block in the House by the House progressives. It's a really long shot. but the Senate is the place where you're going to block it. No, the Senate does not suck. The Senate is where the Democrat is where the people who have spoken out against this are resigning. Warren and Hawley and Sanders. The Senate is and Romney. That is where the people have sat who have spoken out against this. And that is where you will see the impact today on an up or down vote. And then, if it passes the Senate, then the last step is to get it vetoed by the president. So you have three steps to block this: House vote no, Senate vote no, and then president veto. I don't have the hashtag campaign figured out yet for the Senate veto. Veto no. But there you go. Meantime, let's turn to state and local. It's important to understand that despite all this, there is big money out there for your city, state, and county. So let me go over that city, state, and county money. Ultimately, what I want you to understand is that there is money available in nearly every city and every county. If you have called up and they said that program closed down, you called up, they said we don't have anything. You called up your city, county, they don't have anything. Listen to this broadcast. There's still more coming up right now about how there is money available for you. Thousands of dollars, not a $300 stimulus check or a $600 stimulus check or a $1,200 stimulus check. What is out there is thousands of dollars. These are the private organizations who have been paying big money to viewers of this channel. And they have been paying money to viewers of this channel in cities across the country, everywhere. Example, California. I'm losing some people on IG, and IG is back. In California, viewers have gotten rent paid by private organizations, even though there is no rent stimulus in California. Viewers have gotten rent stimulus paid in Ohio from these private organizations, gotten paid in Kentucky, gotten paid in Michigan, gotten paid in Mississippi, gotten paid in Georgia, gotten paid in Florida. So what I want you to understand is that this rent stimulus, which is thousands of dollars, it's free money, is being paid by nonprofits in a lot of places. Idaho, they've gotten paid in Idaho. So someone just says Idaho doesn't care about citizens. That might be the case for your governor, but the nonprofits are absolutely doing God's work. So here are them. Take a pen and paper and get ready. If you are get a pen and paper ready. These are nonprofits that have paid rent for viewers of this channel across the country. First, United Way. Second, Salvation Army. Third, Community Action. Fourth, Catholic Charities. Fifth, St. Vincent de Paul. Again, United Way, Salvation Army, Community Action, St. Vincent de Paul, Catholic Charities. And they're absolutely incredible. Leaf has paid rent in some places as well. HEAP or LHEAP has paid utilities in a lot of different places. And Community Action has paid utilities almost everywhere that I've heard from viewers of this channel. If you have looked for the way you find rent is you contact your city hall, your county hall, your state, and you ask them, is there any rent assistance? I'm having problems paying my bill. Rent assistance. Sure, you're asking for rent assistance. You don't add extra words. You don't say, is there rent stimulus? You don't call up and change the words. Do not change the words. I gotta say it again. Do not change the words. You call up and ask, do you have any rent assistance? I'm having problems paying my bill. Rent assistance. And what you say is, and you look for your city hall, your county hall, your state housing authority, and look for them. Next, what's important is to contact your utility companies. All the utility companies are generally giving assistance as well. Do you have any utility assistance for COVID? I'm having problems paying utility assistance. Finally, if you've gone through those, also food. There's food assistance. And finally, for gifts. If you have children and you're having problems getting gifts for your children during this holiday season, the following organizations are giving gifts to children who are 16 years or younger. They are Toys for Tots, Children's Charities, United Way, Salvation Army. And there you go. If you have done all that and you've hit a block wall, can't find it, then go to the community page of this channel. It's news.lalate.com/community. The volunteers of this channel, which are absolutely wonderful, there are about 15 of them, they're getting viewers thousands of dollars on a daily basis, thousands of dollars. Congress is sitting around getting you nothing. They're getting actually no one, anyone. Then no one's getting anything from Congress this week. The volunteers have gotten viewers this channel thousands of dollars every single day. So why would you not focus on state stimulus? State stimulus is thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. You want to chase the money where the money is. The money is there. It's not long gone. The money is there. Viewers are getting money round the clock every single day, thousands and thousands of dollars. Some of the government organizations, like, for example, Orange County, Florida, went live with a stimulus check thing yesterday, but it's closed, it's gone. Yes, that's gone, but are people in Orange County getting stimulus in other ways, as rent stimulus, food stimulus, nonprofit stimulus? Absolutely. San Diego County, they had a rent stimulus program from this county, from the actual county, up to about 2 days ago. It's gone. But does that mean no one in San Diego County is getting anything from stimulus? No, untrue. Catholic Charities is helping people with rent up and down the entire state of California. So ultimately, if you are a person who believes and wants things, you can get it. If you're a person who's a disbeliever and wants to say there's nothing, then you won't get anything. It's as simple as that. There's nothing. I'll see you in January. Okay, bye. If you want the money, then get it and get it good. And who is tweeting the heck out of these legislators? The purple power is. Hashtag Senate vote no. Hashtag House vote no. And then these are the people you want to tag. So let's go over who you want to tag. You want to tag your supporters. Tag your supporters. First, you want to tag at Bernie Sanders, at Hawley, HAWLEYMO. Josh Hawley has a press press department Twitter handle. So I did not realize that till the last night. So Josh Hawley has a press department Twitter handle, has about 20,000 followers. So at 20,000 followers, they will see 20,000 tweets. They'll see them every 10 seconds you send them. E. Warren, as Elizabeth Warren. Then you want to send it to AOC. You want to send it to the U.S. progressives, which are the progressives in the House. You want to send it to the head of the progressives in the House. You want to send it, and then you want to send it to, we haven't been doing this, and this is new for this morning, you want to send it to your old friends in the White House. Your old friends you used to tag in the White House. Mark Meadows, Steve Mnuchin, Steve Mnuchin's press secretary, the U.S. press secretary, Donald Trump, and you want to get the, and you want to get the message out to everyone in the White House. This is junk. What are you doing here? And of course, then we turn to Mitch. Mitch, and his chief of staff, his press secretary, his communications director, get it out and get it loud and clear. When you're tagging Mitch, you may want to tag him separately. And when you tag Mitch separately in a separate tweet, you may want to send the message that, how badly you want those Senate seats in Georgia, Mitch? Because a $600 stimulus check, you can kiss him goodbye, because you're not going to have those Senate seats. You do a measly $600 stimulus check. It's as simple as that. Bernie Sanders is on fire. Well, I appreciate that. St. Vincent de Paul, yes. Any questions before we call it a morning? I see you at 12 noon. Colorado doesn't care for any of us here. Colorado viewers have gotten big rent, so your state may not care for you, but Colorado viewers have gotten rent from the privates. Bernie Sanders is on fire, says the Instagram room. St. Vincent de Paul says the Instagram room. We're simulcasting Instagram. Pennsylvania, yeah, there's stimulus from all the charities in Pennsylvania, and viewers have gotten big rent in Pennsylvania, in PA, absolutely. Harrisburg has a rent stimulus. State stimulus is pending. No new updates on particular state stimulus checks. Rent stimulus in Illinois, yes. Maryland, yes, there's rent stimulus in Maryland. The IG room just sort of stopped. Now it's moving. North Carolina only with kids. Yes, there's rent stimulus in North Carolina. What if I was evicted by a crooked landlord? If you're having problems with evictions, also reach out to the volunteers. They'll give you the guidance on what are the eviction situations in your state. I'm from New York. Hello from New York. What time are they voting today? I don't know. Any word on North Carolina? Arizona, New Leaf is paying rent in Arizona. That's why I remember by heart. New Leaf for that viewer. Tampa, there's rent stimulus there. Michigan, there's rent stimulus from the nonprofits. Watch Purple Power last night, in which I go over all of them. I'll go over more about them today. Catholic Charities paying utilities in California, says Cindy Skipper. Amen. Very true. And there you go. I love you, LA. Well, I love you back. I appreciate that. Thanks, LA. Thank you, Sandy. Um, LA, is that your maid in the background? No, it's not. New Jersey stimulus from Ohio, from United Way. Massachusetts, are they giving a stimulus? Massachusetts people have gotten big rent. I always use Tyrone. Tyrone got $14,000 of rent stimulus in Massachusetts. In Mississippi, yeah, Mississippi, a lot of groups doing stimulus in Mississippi. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to you too. Arkansas, yes. They need to send out $1,200 a month of retro. They need to do a lot of things. They're not doing any of them yet. With that, thank you for tuning in for Mornings LA. I'll see you at 12 noon for Holidays LA. I might be outside for that one. As always, stay informed, stay smiling. See you then, and take care.